5 seconds.
So we missed a lot of the picks here, but it's okay. We'll catch up. Bans. We see bans from MVP Phoenix on the bat and the DP they faced in last game. Team Liquid banning out Mirana. Don't want to play against her. Managed to pick up Lycan, Ember Spirit, Skywrath, Razor versus so far Shadow Shaman, Naga, Faceless, and TA.
10 seconds to go.
Just looking at these quickly, looks like MVP Phoenix
5
has
seconds.
a stronger late game.
Reserve time.
But Team Liquid has a lot of kill potential early on with their lineup, so it's going to be difficult for MVP to survive the laning stage. Ember probably going to go mid, very strong mid. Razor could potentially be mid or off lane. Ember also quite good against
10
TA
seconds to go.
because of his shield preventing or burning down the refraction.
Nice.
But TA also does pretty well against him because he's quite squishy. So she's able to beat him down pretty significantly. Last bans are Wraith King for Team Liquid. Wraith King is one of Team Liquid's well-liked heroes. He's really solid in lane as a support, can move on into a semi-carry role later on with farm. So yeah, we'll see what the last pick here is for MVP Phoenix. They have a mid, they have what looks like a trend. They probably need to pick off an off lane. Okay, so they're going to put
Radiance pick.
Naga, I imagine, in the off lane. Or maybe Naga mid and TA in the off lane. We'll see what they do there. AA really good at the laning phase. So Team Liquid going for a very strong early kill lineup with the Skywrath, with the Sand King, with the Ember, with the Howl from Lycan. Razor also has a lot of damage coming out initially. So Forev going to be farming on the Faceless. March also, I think, probably farming on the Naga. Ryson playing support again. This time he's Shadow Shaman. QO, who was the offlaner in the other game, likely going to play offlane here as the TA. And then Ancient Apparition going to be on... Oh man, what's the name of the last person on their team? Can I remember before he picks? MVP. Forev, March, QO, Ryson. I don't remember.
10 seconds to go.
So interesting to see Pegasus actually is going to be playing the Lycan this time. It was Quava last time, so he might not be farming quite as heavily as he was before. Kind of curious to see who'll be going mid here for Liquid. And it looks like Quava might be farming on bottom with TC laning against TA in mid. Sky could potentially go mid too, but Bulba's is not likely to be going mid. Doesn't tend to play mid. So MVP doing the same thing here. They're securing their ward placement for their offlaner, which is going to be the TA, I think? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Oh, they spot Way 2. Way 2, if he gets shackled, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Uses the Burrow Strike to get some distance. Shadow Shaman doesn't have the speed on him. He has boots. They both have boots, but Sand King has a higher base move speed. So he's going to be alright. They get their ward down here, providing sight as well as blocking the camp. Another ward down blocking this camp. They're trying to prevent Sand King from being able to jungle for a very long time. They're going to do an aggressive trialing here on bottom. Looks like... Is that going to be a Void mid? It might be a Void mid and a TA top. We'll see. Or it might be a Void solo top. Let's see what happens. And that's going to be Lycan here in the offlane, solo offlane.
Let's begin.
I think. They're very interesting lanes. So that's a haste rune. So yeah, Forev is going to be farming top here against the Lycan. Lycan's going to like that lane a lot. March netting here on Way 2. Way 2's got incoming. Uses his Burrow Strike, but Ryson might catch up. Oh, gets blocked a little bit by March, so kill potential there was lost. Bulba, Quava, and Way 2 going to be facing up against March, Ryson, and Phoenix, or sorry, Heen. March will be taking the farm in this arrangement here. Heen, I imagine, will be Heen and Ryson will be supporting that. So Koiva went for the shield first. Gives him some damage, also gives him a little bit of survivability there. And he's trying to pull the creeps to get some last hits on them without them being denied. Not too much luck there so far. This is going to be a rough lane here for them. Oh, Palba helping out a little bit mid here for TC. TC just securing last hits. Might be hanging out here with TC until he's able to get his bottle. In the meanwhile, Koiva kind of suffering here on bottom. Not much that him and Bo3 can do against these three for the time being. TC electing to go for Unstable Current. Gives him that extra move speed. Which will help with chasing down on TA. It's kind of cute. With Unstable Current, he actually has higher move speed than her. I wonder if that's why he did it. So he can chase her down nicely when he uses his current on her. So Bulba's heading down bottom now. Pegasus here facing off against Void. And let's look at the last hits. Void actually doing a lot better than Pegasus is. And that might be partially due to the fact that Void has very high base damage, which allows him to last hit quite nicely. Pegasus can elect to take out the melee creep there instead of going for the range creep up top. Oh, Bulba manages to get the kill on Ancient Apparition. Ancient Apparition, a great laning hero, but very squishy, so they were able to capitalize on that early damage they have with their composition. Damn it, I missed the first blood. QO gonna get the DD rune there. TC's pretty happy here with mid, I think, with the state of affairs there. Oh, and there's a pause. These guys are lagging. Oh, me typing dash ping is not going to do anything. Pegasus getting chased down here by Forev, and he could jump forward and slow him and get a few more hits in before the tower starts wailing on him, but he's probably going to play it a little bit safer. He is winning this lane quite handily. We'll see if he decides to go for a Hand of Midas or a Ring of Health or something. I'm not sure what exactly he's going to pick up with his extra cash. Yeah, so while we're waiting, teams Liquid is doing quite nicely there on the gold. That's the first blood showing. We'll see if they manage to get any D wards. I don't think they're even going to bother. Looks like they're not even trying. Way2 is going to just back up to base, heal up, probably TP back out. TC, I don't know if he's got boots, so it doesn't look like he's rushing a bottle at all. He might just be skipping it. Don't necessarily need to get a bottle on a hero like Razor, not very mana intensive, especially if you're focusing on static link here. So yeah, I wonder if we're going to see big plays from Bulba here on the Skyrath. Not quite as exciting as arrows, but nonetheless, Mystic Flare does do a lot of damage, and if he plays it nicely, can make for some pretty exciting stuff. I wonder if he's planning to use it. He could use it defensively too on Void and the Chronosphere. If Void's beating on a specific hero, you could place a Mystic Flare on top of him and potentially save him from being time locked and mace smashed to death. Koiva really not enjoying the last sitting in this lane. I don't blame him. It's a ton of harass coming out here. 38 ping, that sounds fine to me. Let's see here, last hits. March also not doing that well, although he does have a lot of denies. Both teams quite polite here, waiting for each other to be ready. So the game's starting again. We're back in action. Koiva. It's almost like he's offlaning at this point because he's lost his other support. Kind of has to try and make it work on his own here. TC taking advantage of the damage he's stolen from TA. She's really doing like nothing at all. Oh, we'll get some hits in. Yeah. Nice harass there. Pegasus not doing well at all here against the Void. Void electing to go for boots. And he's actually getting a bottle here to help him with the regen in lane. Needs to be careful with the wolves, make sure he doesn't give Forev last hits with them. He's going to give him the last hit. No, not quite. He's trying to damage him down. He does have the bottle regen, so he's pretty well set there. Oh, there's a gank happening on mid. QO gets caught out by the Sand King who TPs in mid as opposed to bottom. Keen trying to help him there with the slow, but not enough. The dust coming off of Way 2 helps Razor secure a kill, and that's quite nice there for TC to allow him to continue dominating mid lane. Koiva gets a little bit of a break with Ancient Apparition going to Voyage mid, but he's still not getting very many last hits. He's trying. The tower is not letting him. So he's got Bolas and... did they change the name on that? Oh, they are called Bolas, but the ability's not called Bolas. Okay, TC's going to get that rune, and he does go for a bottle eventually. Boots first, I think, was to build on Static Link being able to steal away damage nicely. We'll see what Forev decides to go for next once he's done. Might go for a Ring of Health maybe here to help him with the harass in lane. Not a lot of bursts coming out of Lycan, so he can sort of capitalize on that by building an item, set of items that allows him to sustain in lane. Way 2 at this point is just jungling, letting the other lanes gather some experience. Bulba taking advantage of that to get levels. Once he hits 6, he's quite dangerous. Way 2, I imagine, probably wants to work up his Blink Dagger. Bulba in a bit of trouble. I don't think Koiva's going to be able to do much to help him. Wants to throw out the chains, but doesn't even really get a chance to do that. Going to get some damage in on March with his shield, but it's a little bit risky. Too bad for Bulba. Skywrath, though he does do a lot of damage, very squishy. Forev is level 6, so is Bulba. So it's pretty much just whether or not Forev's going to be able to pop that Chrono before he dies if Bulba gets enough damage in, because he's quite close to death there. Pegasus gets his ring up. So he was suffering a bit. Forev did manage to use his self. He's back on full health. He was suffering a bit earlier, but he's doing quite a lot better now. TC happy with the 42 damage he's getting off of TA. Oh, Koiva going in. He wants to kill March. I don't know if it's... Oh, just enough burn damage. Coming back towards Heen. That's going to be a cleanup from Way 2. 2 for 1. Decent trade for them. And Ember's level 6 now, so that's going to give him a lot more to work with in lane now. Doesn't have to be quite as worried about getting killed by the folks he's laning against. So these lanes working out quite nicely for Liquid. Was looking a little bit rough here on top lane and on bottom, but they managed to make things work out nicely. Sand King really showing why he's being picked a lot recently. Just very dangerous hero with his stun. He's got quite the range on it. It also allows him to, with Sandstorm, to farm in the jungle and give levels and gold to other heroes without compromising his own progression. There's the QO's trying to get out of range there. He doesn't quite make it, and that's a finish by TC. Meanwhile, Pegasus he's blockaded himself into the trees. I'm not sure if they know he's there. I don't think they know he's there. He was blocking the entrance with the wolves. Actually, it was a little bit interesting. March here starting to fall behind on Koiva. He's still ahead on last hits, but Koiva's leading him on levels at this point with the kills he was able to get. He's working. He's got his face boots up. Nice ward from Ryzen. We'll see if it ends up standing. TC with a DD rune, pressuring nicely on mid. And QO coming back. He's not having quite as much fun. March is going to fall for sure here. Bulba. Oh, good try with the illusions, but not enough to buy him his life. Bulba doing a really great job here, cycling from lane to lane, setting up kills with the Skywrath. And Pegasus here is seems to be a fan of the jungle. He was doing jungling as Lycan. Cuts through the trees there to get to try and find safety, I think. Oh, he's got a potential kill lined up there on Heen.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna go for it. Pegasus doing a lot of cute stuff here with the Quelling Blade. They've come to secure Void's farm top because he was suffering a little bit. But yeah, Pegasus making things happen with his Quelling Blade. There's a regen rune for QO. Always a nice rune to get when you're mid. TC misses out on the rune. I don't think he realizes that it's gone. Maybe he does. He doesn't have a ward on runes, so it's hard for him to keep up with where the runes are going to be. This might be a wraparound again on QO here mid. Lots of sentries littering throughout. Gonna go for the damage grab. Oh! Skywrath coming in from the side. They're gonna choose. Whoa, I thought they're gonna choose not to die the tower. This might prove to be costly for Liquid here. Not sure how TC's gonna get out of this. His lightning is doing a decent amount of damage. Phoenix beating down on Bulba. TC's gonna fall as well. Way2's gonna be able to escape. TC, no, not gonna make it out. So a little bit too much there on the dives. Liquid playing nice and aggressive, but they just gave them 2 free kills. So laning stage not going quite as well as it was before. Nice moves there from MVP. Way2 wants to do something here, but doesn't really have. Nice reaction there on the with the sandstorm. He's ready to defend the tower. He chose not to get his ultimate burrow strike at level 6 because it's not super effective then. Oh, the stun might be able to get a pick off. Oh, it doesn't quite catch up with him, and QO's going to be able to refract both those instances of the lightning damage. If we look at net worth, Lycan and Razor leading with Void and then Cueva on the Ember. I don't think he's laid down. Okay, he's laid down 1 spirit here on bottom, which gives them sight on the rune. Is that a rune? No, that's not a rune. That's just a trap. Looks kind of like an Invis rune a little bit. The purple diamond shape. So Pegasus here has got an eye on top rune. Probably letting TC know that it's there. Is TC going to come give him a bottle charge? TC's not moving. No, Lycan's got a bottle. Oh, that's right. Lycan has a bottle. So probably negotiating the release of the rune to him. Bulba with the slow, with the silence, is going to jump in. There are the chains. They don't hit the Naga, though, so she's going to keep running. Another flare. Is she going to get killed? No, just barely going to survive. And they're going to back up before it means death for them. Cueva's got a bottle as well, so 3 bottles running on Liquid right now. Guess they're all kind of desperate for regen here. Meanwhile, Pegasus here is going to got his Vlad's up quite quickly, actually. And he'll be able to do Roshan pretty soon once he gets that medallion. It's just a matter of being able to sneak in without being spotted. Void does have a Mask of Madness, but not much else. If you look at the graphs quickly here, Liquid with a pretty significant golden experience lead, 4,000 in the first 10 minutes. Cueva continuing to farm. He's really made his lane into quite a nice little home now. Used to be a little bit questionable as to whether he'd be able to get much done, but he's doing a lot better now. Cueva, Skywrath, not quite 6, so it doesn't have that same killing potential, but goodness gracious, it does do a lot of damage. Oh, brutal. Forev uses his chrono, but Cueva, too quick, is able to jump away, and that's really bad for him. Those chronos represent pretty good chances for him to get kills and set up kills for his team. And he kind of lost out there on that. Lycan using the medallion from the trees to get March down to half health without really too much risk to him. His wolves doing the work as well as his illusion. Might be looking to apply pressure on the tower here, but not sure where everyone else is. So he's going to cycle down a bit and farm the jungle. TC's going to get that DD rune. QO's trying to keep an eye on things with all the traps, but ooh, nice damage coming out there. Gonna beat Forev down. Really making good use of the illusion rune there. A lot of times people just kind of dump it to the side for sight or whatever, but he's trying to make a little bit more out of it.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
This ice is going to hit Cueva. He does have a shield protecting him from the shard damage right now. It should be okay. There's not a lot of damage potentially coming out to him. Pegasus here. They're looking to take out... Oh, there's a double fortify helping both towers at once. The smoke up from the support, so they're going to move mid to support. They want to try and secure that tower kill. They know that Cueva is going to be alright with finishing this one off. So that's a tower down for them in favor. They've got 2 towers to 0. TC playing quite aggressively. He's trying to bait out an engagement, I think. They're going to wrap around from behind. There's the burrow, or sorry, the earthquake or whatever. Forev does not have a chronosphere. Oh, they're going to find him there in behind the trees. Balbo backing up a bit. They both have like no mana, so it's a little bit risky. Way2 does have his... oh man. Pegasus tearing it up. Way2 does have his blink dagger, which is really nice for him. And Pegasus taking advantage of that double damage room. Shadow Shaman did throw down the wards. He's going to defend the tower for now. Pegasus not going to be able to push through that. We'll see if he gets smoke and goes for Roshan. Does have enough for power treads if that's what he's aiming to get next. Might choose to pick up a more expensive item though, based on the fact that he has quite a lot of cash on hand. There's a smoke from Shadow Shaman as well as Skywrath. We'll see if either of them decide to follow up on that with some action in lane. TC getting a mech, going to help a lot. Razor tends to be quite tanky. Mech's going to just do even more to ensure that. Skywrath trying to dissuade them. You don't want to fight here. Oh, Pegasus coming in from the side. Way2 going to stun here on QO. This is a really bad fight for them. That's 3 kills for 1 kill on the Skywrath. They're going to finish off this mid tower. Forev does have his Chronosphere up, so if he does manage to get some damage out, but he's not going to be able to prevent them from taking the tower. So Liquid with a pretty dominating early game performance, really making use of, like I mentioned before, the power of that combination that they have drafted for their team. And MVP is looking pretty dire for them. They do have a lot of carry in the late game because of the TA, because of the Void, because of the Naga Siren. You could potentially, build a heart, get some diffusals and Mantis Cell and stuff going on, Radiance, etc. But that's another tower that's going to fall. Maybe not quite yet, but all towers up for Liquid, and we've got 3 towers down for MVP. That's 3,000 of the gold advantage just in tower gold. The rest coming from the kills they managed to pick up. A little bit of over-aggression for both teams. We saw over-aggression here in mid. Earlier coming from Team Liquid, and then we saw over-aggression here, also in mid, coming from MVP. So both teams doing a good job of punishing that. TC's almost got his mechanism. Wouldn't be surprised if he went into the jungle, but he's going to choose to farm those creeps a little bit instead. Lycan has a haste rune. This will allow him... Oh, nice. He got a Midas. That's what he decided to do with the extra money. So just kind of build on his lead here. Doesn't really need to build items that allow him to fight immediately, given how well he's been doing. Knows that Roshan is unmolested. That's going to be a kill on Forev. Forev not even moving, wondering if... maybe he's just given up. You didn't even try and avoid the Mystic Flare there. Just kind of ate it. Liquid just destroying MVP right now. They're going to trap him with the bolas. He's dead for sure. Way2's going to get some distance here. Might end up falling to the TA. Well, that's a 1 kill for them. But that tower's going to die. They do get the deny. But at the same time, they take out the tower on bottom. So there's 1 outer tower left. That's 5 down to 0 for Liquid. Regen rune here bottom. TC likely to grab it. Oh no, he chose to get rid of his bottle, so maybe not. We'll see if they decide here to take the... Oh right, Pegasus still has a bottle. We'll see if they decide to take the Roshan here. Interesting how Lycan hasn't actually upgraded his boots yet. Chosen to go for other items like Vlad's, like Medallion instead. Might end up just skipping power treads altogether and getting something like a Boots of Travel later on. Given the farm he's been getting, he could probably afford to do that. He's almost at like a power treads if he decides to get that now. So the wolves farming up in the jungle. He's got his camp stacked up for him nicely. Oh, Phoenix finally got, or I keep on Phoenix. Forev finally got the kill there on someone with a chrono. They're looking to wrap in here, and they don't actually know they're coming, so this could be quite disastrous for them. There isn't an ult available, but that's quite a lot of damage coming out already on QO. QO silenced, not able to use anything to defend himself. Chrono isn't up, so there's the dust. He's going to die for sure. The ice does hit 2 of them, so they can't afford to be too aggressive. Oh man, Way2 Lycan coming in from the Roche pit. He's going to go ahead and pick someone off, and they're probably going to just go ahead and take another kill. Or sorry, another tower kill. Although Pegasus here running in onto Ryson. Ryson's going to die. Not able to CC him in there. Oh man, Pegasus just going fully aggressive here. He not able to make him. Oh, okay, so he does die. That base dive meant the end of Lycan, but they're going to take mid pretty easily, and he bought back. I think he's got, yeah, so he got the boots of travel I mentioned earlier. A lot of pressure coming out here from Liquid. They're going to go ahead and take mid tower, probably cycle back and finish off the Roshan.
Dire has fortified its structures.
So many, like all the towers down in 18 minutes. It's pretty impressive. They've just been playing this early game so well. Bulba doing a really good job on the Skywrath, has lined up a lot of kills, as you can see by his assist count. You look at, he's got the most assists. Well, actually no, Sand King has a few more, but he's looking pretty good on the assist count there. There's a BKB coming out for Razor, going for more tankiness. Bulba getting his beloved gem. Big fan of that. Not really anyone on the other team is invis aside from TA, but it's going to help with clearing out traps, with clearing out wards, and he's probably going to spot this ward here as well, actually, when he comes up. Yeah, so that's nice. Gets a gem and goes for an easy D ward right away. These guys hanging out so close to each other they don't even know it. Way to looking to pick off on QO. Nice, gets a kill, and poor QO is quite lacking there in the health department. Oh, gonna pick off on Forev before he gets away. It's another kill there, and this is looking like GG. Wouldn't be surprised if they called it pretty soon. Lycan gonna keep pushing here. Probably gonna finish off Roshan. Yeah, they're gonna go as a group, take out Rosh. Tempting to get that farm, but they need to get Rosh first. Makes more sense for them here. Might be Koiva or TC who picks up the Aegis, given that Pegasus is filled up on slots, although he could get rid of the Quelling Blade, so we'll see who they decide to prioritize. Pegasus has shown himself to be pretty tanky and not too much of a liability in terms of risking being killed. Naga too far away to do anything in terms of, so it's going to be Koiva with the Aegis. He had a stout shield to get rid of, so it makes sense. Gets a Perseverance. He's building, I think, another Battle Fury. So that's Rune bottom. Razor bottles it. Really nice play from Liquid. They've just been continuously building on this lead, and oh man, with that 15,000 plus advantage, both in gold and experience, MVP's really looking like they're struggling here. Razor, with the help of his teammates, did such a good job of shutting down the TA mid. And the support's got a lot of farm from those different ganks. Koiva was able to get pressure off of his lane, continue farming. So they're just going to pressure all these lanes and probably choose one to do a team fight in. Koiva has that Aegis we mentioned earlier. Forev trying to get an engage in on the Sand King there with the leap and the Sentry Ward, but no luck for him. He does have a Chrono up, so it'll be ready for the next fight if they don't manage to pop him beforehand. They were looking to go in on the Faceless, I think, there, but no luck as of yet. Bulba with Dust and a Gem, so he's well prepared. If he sees himself going down, he might choose just a Dust before he dies to make sure that TA doesn't get away with invisibility. They got a lot of wards here set up in the base. Probably trying to avoid Sand King being able to avoid death and blink out if he does go in. So, getting ready for the fight. Koiva just farming up the jungle. It's interesting.
Tower is under attack. I only mentioned
Liquid pretty happy just to keep them hemmed in.
How are you doing otherwise?
Looks like they're going to choose to just pressure all three lanes and see if there's somewhere where they can break through. I think Lycan's got his Necro book. Already at level 1, going to be able to upgrade to level 2 just with the money he has on hand. And probably level 3 if he's able to get this tower. So it's looking pretty difficult here for MVP. So Koiva, yes, building another Battle Fury. Popular build on Ember Spirit, taking advantage of the fact that his attacks splash when he's using Sleight of Fist. Both those wolves died before Forev. I think maybe killed one of them. But he's a sad void because he's very underfarmed. TC just getting the damage in on the tower here. So Liquid settling in for the long siege. Koiva set up image back here just in case he needs to back out. Pegasus continuing to pressure bottom. And does he have a Necro? Okay, he's happy with his Necro too. He's going to have that come out to him. So they're just going to keep poking out the tower, say, go ahead, Faceless, try and ult us. In the meantime, we'll bust your base up. Koiva doing so much damage. There goes Ryson just falling to the Sleight of Fist. Such an annoying ability. Not much you can do about it except be far away. With the Shadow Shaman down and a lot of them committed on bottom, that's going to give them space to pressure mid. Oh, they're going in. They're going to go in here on March. March does manage to back up. Doesn't get killed. Bulba might end up falling, but the mech is saving him for the meantime. Koiva jumps in. He's doing a lot of damage here to Phoenix. Sleight of Fist. And TC should be able to finish him off. Does back off, though. There's Ryson's managed to grab Koiva, but he's going to fall. Kiwo might die as well. No, Koiva does have an Aegis, though, so even though he's dead, he's going to be able to back up. TA does have that gem from she got from killing Bulba, so that engagement not quite as nice as they would have liked for Liquid there. Actually turned out pretty decently for MVP. They only lost one. Void just barely got away, so a nice chrono from him. And they have the gem now, which they're not going to be using particularly, but still useful. Gem hanging on the courier. DC has incoming. Sees TA there, decides to back up. Not really worth risking his life. Pegasus has abandoned his bottle and is working on getting level 3 of his Necro Book. Or is it already on the courier? It's already on the courier. That farm on the Lycan, pretty devastating. And those 3 cores just crushing it in terms of the farm. Bulba here, level 11, so he's got the second level of his ultimate. Pretty devastating in terms of the damage it can do. 1,000 damage. So crazy. So Naga Siren, like I was saying, she does have a lot of carry potential. If they can hold in their base, they haven't lost any racks yet, so they're doing okay. Her and Void and TA can do a lot of damage, potentially. Pegasus being cute, trying to get some kills there for his wolves. Not likely we'd be able to kill on the courier, but I guess it's worth a try. So Naga's got the Radiance up. She's sending out her illusions. Koiva not interested in letting her farm. Gonna beat those illusions down. They do know that Naga has Radiance now, which is another factor for them to consider. Pegasus likely going to want to try and do something similar to what Koiva was able to do in the other game, where they're distracted in one lane and they go ahead and take out the tower in another, and then so on and so forth. Go for the racks. Kyo going to lose all his charges there to the Bolas. Pegasus continuing to pressure here. He's pulling back his minions so they don't die. He's got 3 bottom. Unfortunately, Liquid doesn't really have anyone on their team that's capable of just jumping in and pulling someone out. So they're going to have to wait for a break somewhere in the siege where they can really get some action going. So annoying. So gems on Nagasara now. The fact that the gems on her means that she'll be able to make illusions and get sight without risking the gem being lost when she sends them out. I'm surprised they haven't noticed this this ward here. Naga will probably pick it up on her way back over when she comes back out, but she's actually drifting over to the other side here on the tower, so she's not going to notice the ward, and that ward might make or break the next fight they have because they have sight up in the base right now. They're smoked up. They want to find someone to pick off. That's just an illusion, so not of interest to Team Liquid. Gonna clear out those Radiance illusions again. So a little bit of a stalemate here. Neither team wanting to overcommit to a fight that they don't think is favorable. Both teams trying to find an angle with which to engage that will suit them best. And so far, nothing really happening for either of them. Meanwhile, Naga's farming up, so March is going to be a lot more of a factor. But at the same time, Lycan and Ember Spirit and Razor are also getting a lot of farm. They've got all these lanes pushed in, so they're just grabbing all the last hits here as they wish. I have a bug going on right now. It says that this guy's he's a ranged Radiant creep, but he's showing up as he's a melee Radiant creep showing up as a ranged Dire creep. Interesting. Happens sometimes when my computer overheats. Okay, Liquid, you're doing very well. You have a very large advantage. Don't throw, and make something happen. Veil up on Sand King. That's going to be just brutal in the next fight. They'll probably be able to kill, could potentially even kill March before March could even use Nagasiren's song to save himself. Pegasus here knows that TA's coming in and is not going to let her do any damage to the tower. TA needs to get out, otherwise she's probably going to die to the Lycan. He does have those Necro guys giving him sight. Koiva continuing to harass here with the Sleight of Fist. Damn it, I hit the friggin' thing again. QO farming up here on the Ancients, using the splash to get some extra damage in. Come on, guys. He's going to be able to back up and farm the Ancients again if he so chooses, but looks like he's deciding not to. Alright. Roshan is up. Liquid going to grab the Rosh and then going to push. And I imagine this time it'll be Pegasus picking up the Roshan. Route to travel on Naga. The moves be very helpful for a Naga Siren. Oh. Shards do come out here. I think they're going to keep going regardless. Lycan does have the regen to do it. QO looking to probably throw a trap down. Managed to get the refraction off before he takes damage from the Necronomicon units. Pegasus, so much damage on this Lycan, able to pretty much solo Roche by himself with Medallion and his wolves. He brings his range creep back in to get some damage on it there. So yeah, it's going to be an easy Aegis for them, and this is where they're going to fight. This way, with the Ankh, he's going to be able to push in without too much fear of getting picked off. Although we do have Faceless Void with the Aghanim Scepter, so that's going to give him a lot more survivability in terms of the amount of health he has and allow him to ult for a longer duration and more frequent. So Aghanims, they recently improved it on Faceless Void. It's become a pretty good item to get on him because he does suffer from a lack of experience, I was going to say. A lack of HP when he's using his ultimate, so if he's vulnerable, he can be picked off pretty easily. With an Aghanims, you increase your ultimate, which is, well, pretty much your best ability, and you also increase your health pool and your mana pool, so it leaves you a little bit better off there. So Pegasus here actually dropping his hand of Midas onto the courier is going to push here on bottom, and he might just go for the tower because he has an Aegis. He's not too worried about getting picked off. He's going to beat on the tower and say, well, go ahead and fight me. Oh, nice Chrono, catches 3. Pegasus is probably going to fall, but oh, the Sleight of Fist forces Void to back off. Koiva wants Ryzen. Phoenix is down. He's got a Crystallis. He finishes off. Oh, this is the base break we were talking about. So that's a buyback from the Shadow Shaman. Koiva getting beat on currently, but so much damage. March falls to the Mystic Flare coming out of Bulba, and this looks like it's going to be GG. GG. Really well played there from Liquid, using the Aegis to allow them to push up and get in the fight without fear of getting like counter initiated on, and then that really turned the fight when Ember Spirit was able to use Sleight of Fist and do a lot of damage to the Void, going through the Chrono, not worried about it getting stuck in there. So yeah, so that's 2-0 for Liquid. They win the wildcard matchup. MVP is now out. Really well played by them. Beautifully executed. And a great draft. So excited to see them in the International. I think they're in the International now. I'm not sure. I don't know the playoff structure quite perfectly, but a great game nonetheless. And I think we'll definitely see them in the later stages. Yep, so that's all for now. I'm just going to watch the solo championship. Maybe some of you will pick that up too. Alright, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.